8. Yeah, 8 when my mum and dad divorced. And then, everything just went haywire.
We've been together for 5 years, married for 3.5. We have quite a large family. This is our nuclear family. Obviously Miller's asleep, but I would describe our family, if I was talking to someone, as Kristen and myself and our 3 children. I have 4 stepchildren from a previous marriage, so I consider those to still be my children as well. So it's just quite a large, diverse and interesting family.
The 4 older boys lived with my dad, and me and Mac lived with Mum. They lived at this house with this girl named Kristen, which is my stepmom. And then they started getting close and they started dating. And they told us that, I'm gay. And I was like, okay, I don't really mind at all. And that's really kind of it. Kristen had a baby, and the older brothers went on to do their own things.
I had massive guilt after the breakup because it impacted, specifically these 2, but of course my older 4 as well. I had to work really hard to internalise a bit of that, so I wasn't outwardly putting it on the kids. The main thing I had to do was to be very, very patient. There are a lot of people whose feelings were hurt and they found it quite challenging when I left my family and came out as being gay.
I think the boys just saw the practical side of things more so, like the moving out of the house.
You would see that Mum was not at her happiest time, and we'd accept that and try and help her. But Dad wouldn't be his best either, but it was okay.
Kate's very good at protecting them from that kind of stuff, so I'm sure she did a very good job of protecting them, and certainly was doing that when I came on the scene anyway.
I have a really successful co-parenting relationship with my ex-husband, and I'll go so far as to say that we're good friends.
I was upset about Mum and Dad, splitting. I would talk to Dad, and Dad would make very clear that I'm still part of his family no matter what happens. It was different, the way to put it. I'd live with my mum, and then on the weekends or every second weekend I'd go to my dad's and hang out with all the other brothers, often my elders who would be living in a different house.
Ultimately it's about Griffin and Mac and their ongoing connection with their father and their brothers, and so for us to be able to facilitate a really positive relationship with me and my ex-husband, the primary motivation for that is for the boys to know that we're really comfortable together and we can talk about whatever.
I didn't really talk to kids about it, I just act normally. But when my friends would come over, they'd say, oh, why don't you live at this house? I'd just say a long story, tell them about exactly what I said, and they'd just be understanding. They wouldn't go, oh, it's weird. They'd just be like, oh, okay.
I think as parents we just need to be sort of open and honest about the situation. I mean, hiding things makes it sound or feel wrong, and it's certainly not. So I think the best advice would just be open and honest about where things are at and how you're feeling. I mean, kids are very intuitive, they pick it up anyway, so you might as well be open and honest about how you're feeling, what's happening.